In a world that constantly pushes us to control, achieve, and acquire, the ancient wisdom of Stoic acceptance offers a radical alternative: the path to freedom through letting go. This is not the passive resignation that many mistake it for, but rather a powerful and active engagement with reality as it is. Defining Stoic acceptance. Stoic acceptance is rooted in the ancient Greek and Roman philosophy that flourished over 2,000 years ago. Unlike the common misconception of Stoicism as emotional suppression, true Stoic acceptance is a dynamic practice of aligning ourselves with reality while maintaining our capacity for meaningful action. The ancient Stoics, from Epictetus to Marcus Aurelius, taught that our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. This fundamental insight remains revolutionary. We can find freedom not by controlling external circumstances, but by mastering our internal response to them. Modern interpretations have built upon this foundation, integrating contemporary psychology and neuroscience while maintaining the essential wisdom. Today's practice of Stoic acceptance helps us navigate an increasingly complex and uncertain world with grace and resilience. The core principles. At the heart of Stoic acceptance lies the dichotomy of control, the clear-eyed recognition of what is and isn't within our power to change. This principle, simple to understand but profound in practice, helps us direct our energy where it can be most effective while releasing the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. Amor fati, the love of fate, represents the highest expression of Stoic acceptance. This is not mere tolerance of what happens, but an active embrace of reality in all its forms. As Nietzsche later expressed it, it means learning to love not just the pleasant aspects of life, but everything that comes our way, challenges, setbacks, and difficulties included. The emphasis on the present moment in Stoic practice predates modern mindfulness by millennia. The Stoics understood that the only point of power is the present. The past is unchangeable, the future uncertain. But this moment is where we can exercise our freedom of response. The paradox of freedom through acceptance. Here lies one of the great paradoxes of Stoic wisdom. True freedom comes not from expanding our control, but from willingly accepting what we cannot control. This creates a profound shift in our relationship with life itself. When we stop fighting against reality, we free up enormous amounts of mental and emotional energy. The constant struggle against what is creates a form of self-imposed imprisonment. Acceptance breaks these chains, allowing us to respond to life with clarity and purpose. This freedom manifests in our ability to make voluntary choices rather than reactive decisions. When we accept what we cannot change, we can focus our attention on what we can influence, leading to more effective action and greater peace of mind. At the foundation of Stoic practice lies a crucial distinction that can transform our entire approach to life. This is the clear recognition of what falls within our control and what doesn't. The ancient Stoic Epictetus opened his manual of practical wisdom with this very point. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Internal factors, our thoughts, judgments, intentions, and responses, lie firmly within our control. These represent our true domain of freedom, where we can exercise genuine choice. Our interpretations of events, our attitudes, and our chosen responses are areas where we can and should exercise careful discrimination. External factors, other people's actions, natural events, the past, and most outcomes, lie outside our direct control. No amount of willing or wishing can change these fundamental realities. Accepting this truth is not defeatist. It's realistic and liberating. Mixed situations require particular wisdom to navigate. While we can influence many outcomes through our actions, we cannot control them entirely. Understanding this subtle distinction helps us engage appropriately with life's challenges without becoming attached to specific results. Areas of life requiring acceptance. Natural phenomena represent one of the clearest areas requiring acceptance. Weather, natural disasters, the cycles of day and night, the seasons, these operate according to their own laws, regardless of our preferences. Learning to accept these unchangeable aspects of reality forms a foundation for broader acceptance. Other people's actions and choices present another crucial area for acceptance. We cannot control what others think, feel, or do. This includes their opinions of us, their choices, and their responses to our actions. True relationship wisdom begins with this recognition. Past events once occurred become unchangeable facts of reality. While we can learn from the past and let it inform our present choices, we cannot alter what has already happened. Acceptance of the past frees us from the burden of regret and the futile wish that things had been different. Inevitable change is perhaps the most fundamental reality requiring acceptance. Everything in life is in constant flux. Our bodies, our relationships, our circumstances. Resisting this basic fact of existence creates unnecessary suffering. Areas within our control. Our judgments about events represent our primary area of control. While we cannot control what happens, we have complete freedom to choose how we interpret and respond to events. This is where our true power lies. Our intentions and chosen responses remain within our control, regardless of external circumstances. We can always choose our next action, even if we cannot guarantee its outcome. This focus on intention, rather than outcome, characterizes mature Stoic practice. Our preparations and responses to potential future events fall within our control. While we cannot control what will happen, we can prepare ourselves mentally and practically for various possibilities. This creates resilience without attachment to specific outcomes. The wisdom lies in maintaining clear awareness of these distinctions in daily life. When faced with any situation, the practiced Stoic asks, "What aspects of this can I control, and what must I accept?" This simple but powerful discrimination leads to more effective action and greater peace of mind. The human mind naturally resists acceptance through various psychological mechanisms. Understanding these barriers is crucial for developing genuine acceptance. Ego resistance forms the first major obstacle. Our self-image often depends on the illusion of control, making it difficult to acknowledge our limitations. Fear plays a central role in our resistance to acceptance. We fear that accepting reality as it is might mean giving up hope for change, admitting defeat, losing control, becoming vulnerable. Yet paradoxically, acceptance often creates the psychological space needed for genuine change. Attachment to outcomes represents another significant barrier. We become fixated on specific results, tying our happiness to particular scenarios playing out as we wish. This attachment creates suffering when reality fails to match our expectations. The need for control itself becomes a prison. Many people mistake control for power. Yet true power often lies in the ability to flow with circumstances while maintaining inner stability. This excessive need for control often stems from deep-seated insecurity or past trauma. Cognitive benefits. When we succeed in cultivating acceptance, numerous psychological benefits emerge. Anxiety decreases naturally when we stop fighting against unchangeable realities. The energy previously spent on resistance becomes available for constructive purposes. Mental clarity improves significantly. When we're not clouded by resistance and denial, we can see situations more accurately. This leads to better decision-making, more effective problem-solving, increased creativity, enhanced focus. Emotional resilience develops through consistent practice of acceptance. We become less reactive to external events and more capable of maintaining inner stability regardless of circumstances. This resilience extends to all areas of life, improving our overall psychological well-being. Emotional intelligence. The practice of acceptance directly enhances emotional intelligence. It begins with the recognition of our emotions without judgment. This awareness allows us to identify emotional patterns, understand emotional triggers, respond. Rather than react, maintain emotional balance. Processing difficult feelings becomes easier through acceptance. Instead of suppressing or avoiding challenging emotions, we learn to welcome all emotional experiences, allow feelings to flow naturally, extract wisdom from emotional challenges, integrate emotional lessons, developing equanimity. Emotional stability, regardless of circumstances, represents one of the highest achievements of acceptance practice. This state is characterized by balanced response to pleasure and pain, reduced emotional reactivity, increased emotional wisdom, greater inner peace building. Emotional strength occurs naturally through acceptance practice. This strength manifests as increased tolerance for discomfort, greater emotional range, enhanced emotional recovery, deeper emotional understanding. The psychological transformation through acceptance is not immediate but develops through consistent practice. Each moment of acceptance builds upon previous moments, gradually creating a more resilient and peaceful mind. Morning reflection serves as a powerful foundation for daily acceptance practice. Upon waking, take time to acknowledge what lies ahead, recognize potential challenges, set intentions for acceptance, prepare mentally for uncertainty. The morning practice might include these elements: quiet contemplation of the day ahead, recognition of what you can and cannot control, brief meditation on acceptance setting, specific acceptance intentions, evening review, complements morning practice by examining how we handled challenges, noting moments of resistance, celebrating successful acceptance, learning from difficulties. Mindfulness exercises throughout the day help maintain acceptance awareness. Regular pause points, breath awareness, body scanning, present moment check-ins. Journaling provides a powerful tool for developing acceptance through recording challenges and responses, tracking patterns of resistance, documenting insights, planning future approaches, mental exercises, negative visualization. A classic Stoic technique involves imagining losing what we value, contemplating change and impermanence, practicing mental preparation, developing gratitude through awareness. The view from above exercise helps develop perspective by imagining events from a cosmic viewpoint, seeing the bigger picture, reducing attachment to small concerns. Understanding natural patterns. Self-dialogue practices include questioning our resistance, examining our assumptions, challenging our need for control, developing inner wisdom. Role-playing scenarios help prepare for challenging situations, mentally rehearsing acceptance, practicing responses, building confidence, developing flexibility. Physical practices, deliberate discomfort builds acceptance through cold showers, fasting, physical challenges, voluntary simplicity. These practices help by building resilience, reducing attachment to comfort, strengthening will, developing adaptability. Mindful movement practices support acceptance through yoga, walking, meditation, Tai Chi, body awareness exercises. These movement practices teach present moment awareness, body-mind connection, flow with circumstances, natural rhythm recognition. Integration practices, combining mental and physical approaches through daily routines, weekly challenges, monthly reviews, yearly reflections. Creating sustainable habits by starting small, building gradually, maintaining consistency, adapting as needed, measuring progress through journal entries, emotional awareness, behavioral changes, feedback from others. Accepting others as they are forms the foundation of healthy relationships. This involves recognizing individual differences, letting go of the need to change others, appreciating unique qualities, understanding human limitations. Practical steps include active listening without judgment, expressing appreciation for differences, respecting personal boundaries, practicing empathy and compassion. Boundaries and expectations play a crucial role in relational acceptance. Setting clear personal boundaries, communicating expectations openly, accepting others' boundaries, adjusting expectations. Realistically, dealing with conflict through acceptance means recognizing differing perspectives, focusing on shared goals, accepting unresolvable differences, finding compromise where possible. Love and attachment in the context of acceptance involves unconditional positive regard, letting go of idealized images, accepting the impermanence of relationships, balancing closeness and independence. Professional life workplace challenges often require a high degree of acceptance. Adapting to organizational changes, working with diverse personalities, handling unfair situations. Balancing personal and professional life strategies for professional acceptance include focusing on what you can control, developing a growth mindset, practicing detachment from outcomes, Cultivating professional resilience. Career setbacks provide opportunities. For acceptance practice, embracing failure as a learning opportunity, adapting to unexpected changes, accepting market realities, redefining success beyond external markers. Competition in professional settings requires accepting others' successes without resentment, recognizing your unique value, embracing healthy competition, letting go of comparison. Success and failure both demand acceptance. Recognizing the role of factors beyond your control, maintaining humility in success, finding value in failure. Focusing on continual growth rather than fixed outcomes. Health and aging, physical limitations often necessitate deep acceptance. Adapting to changes in abilities, finding new ways to engage with life, accepting help when needed, focusing on what remains possible. Strategies for accepting physical changes. Regular body awareness practices, adapting activities to current abilities, cultivating gratitude for remaining capacities, exploring new forms of physical engagement. Chronic conditions require ongoing acceptance. Learning to live with persistent symptoms, balancing treatment with quality of life. Accepting good days and bad days, finding meaning beyond physical health. The aging process presents unique acceptance challenges, embracing physical changes, adapting to new social roles, accepting changing cognitive abilities, finding new sources of meaning and purpose. Mortality. Perhaps the ultimate test of acceptance involves contemplating the finite nature of life, making peace with uncertainty, finding meaning in legacy, living fully in the present moment. Practical approaches to mortality acceptance. Regular contemplation of death, engaging in end-of-life planning, cultivating a philosophical perspective, focusing on living authentically. Identifying resistance is the first step towards acceptance. Noticing physical tension, recognizing emotional reactions, observing thought patterns, becoming aware of avoidance behaviors. Common resistance patterns include denial of reality, anger at circumstances, bargaining for different outcomes, depression when facing hard truths. Understanding the roots of resistance often involves exploring past experiences, identifying core beliefs, recognizing fear-based reactions, uncovering unmet needs. Working through blocks requires gentle self-inquiry, compassionate self-observation, gradual exposure to discomfort, developing new mental habits. Progressive acceptance involves acknowledging the reality of the situation, allowing associated emotions to arise, exploring potential meanings or lessons, choosing constructive responses, dealing with strong emotions. Anger management through acceptance involves recognizing anger as a natural emotion, allowing anger without acting on it, exploring underlying needs or fears, channeling energy constructively. Techniques for accepting anger. Mindful breathing, physical release, e.g., exercise. Journaling or expressive writing. Seeking understanding of triggers. Processing grief requires deep acceptance. Acknowledging the reality of loss, allowing the full range of emotions, accepting the grieving process, finding new meaning over time. Stages of grief: acceptance, shock and denial, pain and guilt, anger and bargaining, depression and reflection. Acceptance and adjustment. Handling fear through acceptance means recognizing fear without being controlled by it, exploring worst-case scenarios, developing contingency plans, building confidence through small steps. Fear acceptance practices. Exposure therapy, cognitive restructuring, mindfulness of fear sensations, cultivating courage through action. Managing disappointment involves accepting that outcomes often differ from expectations, focusing on lessons learned, adjusting future expectations. Realistically, finding value in the experience itself. Strategies for disappointment, acceptance, practicing gratitude for what is, reframing situations positively, setting flexible goals, cultivating resilience through perspective. Societal pressures, cultural expectations often conflict with personal acceptance. Recognizing societal norms as constructs, choosing which expectations to meet or challenge, accepting potential criticism for nonconformity, finding balance between individuality and community. Social. Media influence presents unique acceptance challenges. Recognizing the curated nature of online presentations, accepting your own reality without comparison, managing exposure to potentially triggering content, using social media mindfully and purposefully, dealing with peer pressure through acceptance, acknowledging the desire for belonging, accepting personal values and boundaries, communicating choices clearly and respectfully, finding supportive communities aligned with your values, material desires in a consumer. Culture require recognizing marketing influences, accepting current financial realities, finding contentment beyond possessions, aligning purchases with authentic values, strategies for accepting societal pressures, regular media fasts or detoxes, cultivating authentic relationships, engaging in meaningful community service, developing a personal philosophy of life. Long-term thinking enhances acceptance by seeing beyond immediate circumstances, recognizing patterns over time, understanding the impermanence of situations, making decisions with broader context in mind. Cultivating a universal view involves recognizing our place in the larger cosmos, understanding interconnectedness of all things, seeing personal challenges in a global context, developing a sense of shared humanity. Historical context aids acceptance through learning from past events and figures, recognizing cyclical nature of many challenges, gaining inspiration from historical resilience, understanding current events as part of ongoing processes. Appreciating the natural order helps by recognizing fundamental laws of nature, accepting change as a constant, understanding ecological interdependence, finding peace in natural rhythms and cycles, understanding human nature. Common human experiences that foster acceptance include recognizing shared emotions across cultures, understanding universal needs and desires, accepting the complexity of human motivation, appreciating diverse expressions of common themes, shared struggles that unite humanity, search for meaning and purpose, desire for connection and belonging, coping with loss and change, balancing individual and collective needs, universal desires that shape human behavior, need for safety and security, longing for love and acceptance, pursuit of growth and self-actualization, desire for contribution and legacy, human limitations requiring acceptance, cognitive biases and mental shortcuts, emotional reactivity and irrationality, physical vulnerabilities and mortality, inherent unknowns and uncertainties. Philosophical foundations, nature of reality considerations, impermanence of all phenomena, interconnectedness of all things, subjective nature of experience, limits of human perception and understanding, exploring the purpose of life through philosophical inquiry and reflection, study of various wisdom traditions, personal experimentation and lived experience, dialogue with diverse perspectives, the value of virtue in acceptance, cultivating inner qualities regardless of circumstances, finding meaning beyond external outcomes, developing character through challenges, aligning actions with highest values, the role of reason in acceptance, using logic to examine beliefs and assumptions, developing discernment between changeable and unchangeable, applying rational analysis to emotional reactions, balancing reason with intuition and emotion, practical wisdom, development, regular philosophical study and reflection, engaging in ethical decision-making exercises, practicing mindfulness and self-observation, seeking mentorship, and wise counsel, integrating wisdom into daily life, applying philosophical insights to everyday challenges, using Socratic questioning in difficult situations, practicing ethical reflection before important decisions, cultivating virtues through daily choices, finding meaning in routine activities, developing a personal philosophy of acceptance, articulating core principles and values, creating personal maxims or guidelines, regularly reviewing and refining beliefs, aligning actions with philosophical understanding, teaching and sharing wisdom, leading by example. In daily interactions, engaging in meaningful dialogue with others, mentoring those seeking guidance, contributing to community wisdom through service,
continual growth in wisdom through lifelong learning and curiosity, embracing new experiences and perspectives regularly,
challenging one's own assumptions, deepening understanding through practice and reflection. Character development through acceptance involves cultivating patience in the face of adversity, developing humility by recognizing limitations, strengthening integrity through consistent practice, enhancing compassion by accepting human frailty, practical steps for character growth, daily self-reflection on responses to challenges, setting intentions for specific character traits, seeking feedback from trusted others, practicing chosen virtues in various contexts. Wisdom cultivation through acceptance includes deepening understanding of life's complexities, developing nuanced perspectives on challenges, recognizing patterns in personal and collective experiences, applying lessons learned to new situations. Emotional maturity fostered by acceptance, increasing ability to tolerate discomfort, developing broader emotional range and expression, enhancing emotional self-regulation, deepening empathy and emotional intelligence, spiritual growth aspects of acceptance, expanding sense of connection to something greater, deepening trust in life's unfolding, cultivating inner peace amidst external chaos, developing a sense of purpose beyond personal desires, building resilience, adaptability, enhanced through acceptance, becoming more flexible in the face of change, developing creative problem-solving skills, increasing comfort with uncertainty, learning to thrive in diverse environments, mental toughness developed by accepting challenges, building psychological endurance, strengthening focus and determination, enhancing ability to persevere through difficulties, developing a growth mindset, recovery capacity improved through acceptance, bouncing back more quickly from setbacks, learning valuable lessons from failures, developing healthier coping mechanisms, building confidence in ability to overcome obstacles, inner strength cultivated by acceptance practices, deepening self-trust and self-reliance, enhancing ability to maintain calm under pressure, developing inner resources for support and guidance, strengthening connection to personal values and purpose life skills, development, better decision-making through acceptance, clarifying what's truly important, reducing emotional reactivity in choices, considering long-term consequences, aligning decisions with core values, improved relationships, fostered by acceptance, enhancing communication through active listening, developing greater empathy and understanding, reducing conflicts through non-judgmental stance building, trust through authentic interactions, enhanced focus resulting from acceptance, reducing mental clutter and distractions, increasing ability to be present in the moment, improving concentration on chosen tasks, developing clearer priorities and goals, greater peace achieved through acceptance, reducing internal struggles and resistance, cultivating contentment with what is, developing trust in life's unfolding, finding serenity amidst life's challenges, practical exercises for personal growth. Regular journaling on acceptance experiences, setting monthly personal growth goals, seeking out challenging situations for practice, engaging in peer or professional coaching, measuring progress in personal growth, tracking emotional responses over time, noting changes in relationship dynamics, observing shifts in decision-making processes, reflecting on overall life satisfaction and meaning, role modeling acceptance in community, demonstrating calm responses to challenges, showing respect for diverse perspectives, handling conflicts with grace and understanding, exhibiting resilience in the face of setbacks. Teaching acceptance to others involves sharing personal experiences and lessons learned, offering guidance without imposing beliefs, creating safe spaces for others to practice acceptance, encouraging reflection and self-discovery, supporting growth in community through organizing workshops or discussion groups on acceptance, volunteering in roles that require patience and understanding, mentoring individuals facing challenging life transitions, contributing to community projects that foster inclusivity, building understanding across differences, facilitating dialogue between diverse Groups promoting empathy through shared experiences, highlighting common human struggles and aspirations. Celebrating diversity while recognizing shared humanity. Relationships, family dynamics, and acceptance. Accepting family members as they are, setting healthy boundaries within familial relationships. Navigating intergenerational differences with understanding. Finding balance between individual growth and family ties. Practical steps for family acceptance. Regular family meetings to address concerns. Openly practicing active listening during conflicts, acknowledging and respecting different life choices. Creating new traditions that honor diversity within the family. Friendships enhanced through acceptance. Deepening trust by accepting friends' authentic selves. Supporting friends through life changes without judgment. Navigating differences in opinions or lifestyles. Cultivating long-term friendships through mutual understanding. Professional connections. Improved by acceptance. Collaborating effectively with diverse colleagues, handling workplace challenges with equanimity. Accepting feedback and criticism constructively. Building professional networks based on mutual respect. Social interactions transformed through acceptance. Reducing social anxiety by accepting oneself and others. Engaging more authentically in social settings, navigating social norms with flexibility and grace, creating inclusive social environments, cultural integration, cross-cultural understanding fostered by acceptance. Recognizing cultural differences without judgment, adapting to diverse cultural norms and expectations, appreciating the richness of cultural diversity, finding common ground across cultural divides, practical approaches to cross-cultural acceptance, studying different cultural practices and beliefs, engaging in cultural exchange programs, practicing cultural humility and openness to learning, seeking out diverse perspectives on global issues, global perspective enhanced through acceptance, recognizing interconnectedness of global challenges, accepting complexity of international relations, developing empathy for global human experiences, contributing to solutions with a broad worldview, universal values identified through acceptance, recognizing shared aspirations across cultures, finding common ethical principles amid diversity, promoting universal human rights and dignity, cultivating global citizenship and responsibility, shared wisdom across traditions, exploring acceptance teachings in various philosophies, finding common threads in spiritual and secular wisdom, integrating diverse practices for personal growth, contributing to a global dialogue on human flourishing, challenges in cultural acceptance, navigating conflicting cultural values, addressing historical injustices and ongoing inequalities, balancing cultural preservation with global integration, overcoming deeply ingrained biases and stereotypes, strategies for overcoming cultural acceptance challenges, engaging in intercultural dialogue and education promoting, policies that support diversity and inclusion, supporting initiatives that bridge cultural divides, practicing personal reflection on cultural assumptions, information overload and acceptance. Recognizing limits of personal information, processing, accepting inability to stay informed about everything, developing discernment in information consumption, finding balance between staying informed and overwhelmed, strategies for information acceptance. Setting boundaries on media consumption, practicing selective focus on essential information, developing critical thinking skills for evaluating sources, regular digital detoxes or information fasts, social media pressure and acceptance, accepting the curated nature of online personas, recognizing the impact of social comparison, developing a healthy relationship with online validation, accepting limitations of digital connections, practical steps for social media acceptance, curating social media feeds to promote positivity, setting time limits for social media, use practicing mindful engagement with online content, focusing on authentic connections online and offline, constant connectivity challenges, accepting the need for digital boundaries, recognizing the value of offline experiences, developing comfort with being unreachable at times, balancing professional responsiveness with personal time, virtual relationships, and acceptance, accepting the unique nature of online connections, recognizing both benefits and limitations of virtual interactions, developing authenticity in digital communications, balancing virtual and in-person relationship building, contemporary issues, environmental concerns, and acceptance, accepting the reality of environmental challenges, recognizing personal and collective responsibility, balancing urgency for change with acceptance of current realities, finding hope and motivation through acceptance-based action, political division and acceptance, accepting diversity of political views, recognizing common human needs beneath political differences, developing skills for respectful political dialogue, balancing personal convictions with openness to other perspectives, economic uncertainty and acceptance, accepting the inherent unpredictability of economic systems, developing resilience in the face of financial challenges, recognizing opportunities within economic constraints, balancing financial planning with acceptance of uncertainty, technological change and acceptance, accepting the rapid pace of technological advancement, recognizing both benefits and drawbacks of new technologies, developing adaptability to technological changes, balancing technological adoption with critical evaluation, integration with other practices, mindfulness and acceptance, using mindfulness to deepen acceptance, practice, incorporating acceptance into formal meditation, applying mindful awareness to resistance patterns, developing present moment acceptance in daily life, therapy and acceptance, integrating acceptance principles in therapeutic settings using acceptance-based therapies, e.g., ACT, DBT, exploring childhood roots of non-acceptance, developing self-acceptance through therapeutic work coaching and acceptance, incorporating acceptance strategies in coaching sessions, helping clients develop acceptance-based goal settings, acceptance to navigate career and life transitions, fostering resilience through acceptance, focused coaching, personal development and acceptance, integrating acceptance into self-improvement practices, balancing, striving for growth with self-acceptance, using acceptance to enhance learning and skill development, developing a growth mindset rooted in self-acceptance, advanced practice, deepening acceptance, subtle resistance recognition, identifying unconscious patterns of non-acceptance, recognizing cognitive distortions that hinder acceptance, developing awareness of somatic resistance, signals, exploring deep-seated beliefs that oppose acceptance, complex situations and acceptance, navigating ethical dilemmas with acceptance, accepting ambiguity and complex decision-making, developing nuanced understanding of systemic issues, balancing acceptance with the drive for positive change. Paradoxical acceptance involves accepting the desire for non-acceptance, embracing the ongoing nature of the acceptance journey, recognizing the paradox of effortless effort in acceptance, finding freedom through accepting limitations, ultimate surrender exploration, contemplating concepts of ego dissolution, exploring spiritual dimensions of complete acceptance, developing trust in the unfolding of life, cultivating a sense of oneness with all of existence, teaching others, mentoring in acceptance practices, guiding others through personal acceptance challenges, sharing tools and techniques for developing acceptance, offering support during difficult acceptance processes, modeling acceptance in the mentoring relationship group, facilitation for acceptance, designing workshops focused on acceptance themes, creating safe spaces for shared acceptance experiences, facilitating group discussions on acceptance challenges, developing group exercises to practice acceptance writing, and sharing about acceptance, articulating personal acceptance journeys, developing practical guides for acceptance practices, sharing inspirational stories of transformation through acceptance, contributing to broader dialogues on acceptance in society, leading by example in acceptance, demonstrating acceptance in personal and professional life, handling public challenges with visible grace and equanimity, sharing openly about ongoing acceptance struggles and growth, inspiring others through authentic embodiment of acceptance principles.